Welcome everyone. This is the Gila monster, also known as the Dodectoid. I'm releasing it as a part of the 2024 Puzzle Advent Calendar. That's a collaboration between different puzzle-related content creators, where we release one puzzle each day for the first 24 days of December. I'll put a link in the description as well to the playlist, as well as a link to the channel where tomorrow's video will be. Be sure to subscribe to them so you can catch that one too. All right, so what even is this monstrosity? This puzzle is actually the culmination of quite a lot of work. Back when I started designing puzzles, I had this wild idea that I wanted to try. And some ideas are so out there that they just kind of stick in your head. And I've particularly enjoyed some of the other puzzles, or I particularly enjoyed some of the puzzles in this series related to this one. And the Dodectoid came about when I decided to see if I could push the complexity limits of these puzzles out further. So some examples of other stuff in this series are things like the heptoid, the octoid, Christian's twist, the faceted twist, my shallow heptoid, as well as various other things. So my initial prototype for this puzzle, which I printed quite a long time ago, it didn't really work. You had to yeah, I'll just show you. You had to press it together as you turn it, and even then the pieces would get caught a lot of the time. Anyway, so it didn't really work. I never really stickered it or released it publicly or announced it or anything. But I revisited it recently, and this giant thing is the result, and I was able to get it working decently well. So that's what you see here. So it has dodecagons in the center of each color grouping. And the turning axes. So there are 3 turning axes. They're all angled slightly up from level, like this. So that's here, here, and here. And they each turn 180 degrees like this. There you go, there's one turn. And here's another. It is fairly alignment sensitive, but it works, so I'm happy. All right, piece types. So, as you have probably already seen, it has these 12-sided dodecagons in the center of each face, these little petals all around them, slightly bigger petals all around those, even bigger petals most of the way around that. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 of these bigger petals, and then you also have these giant triangle pieces as well as these smaller offset triangle pieces. When forming the outer face, or the outer shape, I just faceted it to try and make things symmetric around the dodecagons. And that was mostly successful, and then I just kind of did the stickering to follow that pattern. The naming convention for other puzzles in the series would leave this being called the Dodectoid, which is a fine name, but the thing is after I stickered it, I was struck by how closely it how much it reminded me of a Gila monster. And so that's what I'm calling it. So for anyone who hasn't heard of them, Gila monsters are a venomous lizard native to the southwestern United States, and it also it also has a black and orange color scheme, kind of like what you see here. So the turning quality on this puzzle is decent. Under ordinary circumstances, I'd consider it reasonably playable. But I also know from solving some of the other close relatives of this puzzle that the algorithms tend to be really long. So the turning quality will likely still be bothersome if I try and scramble and solve this thing, just because every step of the process requires a lot of turns. I don't have the algorithms worked out to do that yet. I expect they'll be fairly hard to find, so it's a good challenge. Let's see. One surprising thing was that in order to get this working as well as it has been, or as it is now, I actually had to use much lower viscosity lubricant for the outer layer of the pieces in order to help keep these petal pieces from sticking and catching when they go past each other. So if you see, and of course it's sticking on me now, there we go. If you see as I turn, there's this group of big petal, small or smallish petal, very small petal right here. And the lower viscosity lubricant helps these two pieces not jump out of their track, because as you can see, there's already just even a little bit of slack there as I'm turning it now. That still can happen occasionally, but it happens much less often with the lower viscosity lubricant, so that helps a lot. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention, like other puzzles in this series, it does have a jumbling sequence, so I'll show that. So it's a 7-move jumbling sequence with no options in the middle. So you just... Come on. There we go. All right, there, line back up. All right, 7-move jumbling sequence with that result. And I guess just other details about its production. I printed the parts for this on my Anycubic Cobra Neo, which has since broken. But so I'm working with a different printer now. But I printed it in Duramic PLA Plus, and I'll link the corresponding Twisty Puzzles forum post in the description. And I will also link the 2024 Puzzle Advent Calendar playlist, as well as the channel where the next video will be released. So look out for that tomorrow, and thank you.